Hello everyone and welcome to another video in this testing series. Today we're going to talk all about how to create custom matchers in Jest to create modular and reusable code for our tests. So let's get started. Just like in React, you can create custom hooks to create reusable code for your components. In Jest, you can create custom matchers to create modular and reusable code for your tests. So let's learn how to create these custom matchers. But before we do that, I want to show you that the simple application that I have built using Next.js is simply a React component that displays a list of items, and each item has a price. And at the bottom, we have the total price, which is 60. Because it's the sum of all the items or the prices of all the items in the list. So I want to create a custom matcher that tests that the total price is actually the 60, okay, not 50, not 40, it's actually 60. So if I go back to my test, I have something like this. I have this test file called car.test.js, and I have a simple list of items, and each item has a price, and I want to create something like this: expect items to have total price of 60. Okay, of course there is nothing, there is no matcher, built-in matcher called to have total price, but I want to build that so that the application or the test passes. Now if I look to my test, the test, of course it will fail because there is nothing called to have total price. And by the way, all the code that I'm writing in this application is available on my GitHub repository. So make sure to check out my GitHub repository in the description box. Make sure to fork it or to start it, because all the testing series on my YouTube channel all follow the same GitHub repository. So make sure to fork it or to start it to your own GitHub account in order to get back to it later when you need it. Anyway, talking about Jest matchers. Matchers, if you don't know what matchers are simply functions that allow you to test values in different ways. And they say you need to check the expect API. If I go here, so I have different matchers, like to be, if I want to have a value, for example, any string, I want to check that the string is exactly that value, or to have been called. By the way, I have used this matcher before in my previous videos. So if you have not watched that video, make sure to check out my other videos in this testing series that you can find in the upper right corner. I also have different matchers, like to have been called number of times, if I want to check how many times a function have been called or something like that. So I have different matchers. You can read through these, but I want to create my own. In my case, I want to create a custom matcher that checks, as we said, that the total price of a list of items is actually a number. Like I can pass it a number like 60 or 50 or whatever. So how to do that? First of all, to create a custom matcher, we need to understand that a matcher is just like a hook. It's just a function. So in order to create a custom matcher, I want to create a function. I want to create a function called to have total price. Okay, and this function accepts arguments. We can pass different arguments. For example, the expect value is the received. We can say it's the received. And then if we want to pass different arguments to this matcher, we can pass it here. So I can say expected value. And in order to make my life easy, I want to cut this function and move it to another folder, or another file, just to create isolation of logic. So in order to do that, I want to go to a folder I created already called utils, and inside it I created a file called custom matchers, and it's a TS, it should be TS, not TSX. Okay, it's a TypeScript file. So we get the benefit of type checking. So received value, the value that I want to receive is actually an item. Item is actually also a value, or sorry, a type I defined already. It has ID of a number, a name as a string, and price as a number. So I want to pass it an array of items, and the expected value must be a number. And here I want to define the logic for my custom matcher. To do that, I want to define a custom function called calculate total, which is a function that accepts items array like this. And I want to apply the reduce function on that array. And when we apply the reduce function, I get two arguments. The first one is the total, and the second one is the item itself. Okay, item. And I want to say, or to return item, or total plus item dot price. Okay, I want to start from 0. Now I want to define a variable called pass, just to check if the test will pass or fail. So it's a boolean. Okay, it must be a boolean. Pass is expected value equals to the calculate total, and pass it the items or the received argument. Okay, why it's complaining? This comparison appears to be unintentional. Okay. Oh, I forget to return. Now it works. Okay, that's why TypeScript is very beneficial, because if you forget a simple thing like return, in this situation, when I forgot the return statement, it says void. So I knew that I need to return a number. So I need to return this number. And now we need to define the actual logic for our matcher or custom matcher. So I want to switch. Okay, I want to switch on the pass value. And if it was true, I want to do something. And if it was case false, I want to do a different thing. So I want to say if the pass is true, I want to return. Here I want to return an object, and that object has to have two properties. The first property is a message called message, and it's a callback, and this callback returns a string, and that string is, for example, I can say passed successfully. Okay, and I also want to define another property which is called the pass, which is true in this case. Okay, I want to copy paste this here, but instead of pass true, it should be pass false, because if the test fails, if this matcher fails, it will throw this message. Here we can say expected total value of, okay, we can change the strings to here. And now I want to receive, no, the expected value. Expected total value of expected value, but received. Okay, what else? We need to, this one. Okay, and pass fails. Okay, now we need to do something, which is to add this to, actually to add it to the expect. So I want to expect dot extend. Okay, the extend function allows us to add custom matchers, or which are functions, by the way. And this custom matcher is called to have total price. Okay. Now I get an error. Okay, the error is simply because every custom matcher that we define, it must return an object, and that object has to have a certain structure, and that structure is a message and a pass value. And here we have the default break, so that's why it fails, or it gives an error. So when we remove this, it's working fine. And if I define something else other than message, like messages, you see that I get an error. So it always has to return a message and a pass value. And after that, after we extend the expect function, I want to import. Okay, I forgot to export this. So I export this to have total price. Okay, I want to import it because if I don't import it, Jest will not know that this function exists. So I want to import. Oh, okay. From source utils, I think. Yes, utils, custom matchers. And now let's see if our test fails or breaks or what. Yeah, the test passes successfully. And if I try to add something like 600, it should fail. Yeah, it fails. So I know for sure that my test works fine. So that's how you create custom matchers in Jest. You just simply define a function, and this function has to return an object with this specific shape, message, and pass. And you need to extend the expect function and call it inside your tests. And now that you have learned how to create custom matchers, I want to give you an assignment or an exercise to test your skills in testing. So if I go to get checkout, okay, I want to go to another branch. Here in this custom matchers file, I have defined another matcher or another custom matcher called to contain only letters. And your task or your assignment or your exercise is to create this function or create this custom matcher yourself. And you need to apply to the input fields that we have defined already. If I go to user form, you can see that below I have the expect function. I pass it a valid input because it's an input in the form, in the user form. So I pass it a value, and that value is valid, and I want to check if it's valid or not, to contain only letters. And if I pass it invalid value, like for example, I pass it a John, instead of O, I put 0, John Doe with email, for example, or something like that. I want to pass it this invalid input and check if the test fails or not. In this case, it has the not function, but I can remove that, so you test it however you want. Okay, that's your assignment, that's your test. If you need help, you can go back to the solution. Okay, I already included the solution. Where is it? Yeah, here. I already included the solution inside here, but I don't want you to look at the solution right now. I just want you to try to get your hands dirty and apply what you have learned in this video to create this beautiful custom matcher. And also make sure to check the fire event function coming from the React testing library, because you need to do that in order to write something inside the input field and extract the value from that input field. And after you extract the value, you need to apply the custom matcher on that input value and see if the test passes or fails. And by the way, this solution can be found on my GitHub repository if you go to this branch. Okay, if you go to this branch and install it or fork it, you can see the solution inside the specified file. So, and that's it for this video. Now I want you to go and try your skills in building custom matchers, and tell me in the comments if your contain only letters custom matcher works or not. I hope you liked this video. If you did, consider subscribing to my channel to support me and to support the YouTube algorithm, and also for you to get notified about more videos like this in the future. And until then, see you very soon.